So flight 210, we're gonna have to get quite ready because top of descent in 12 minutes. So we'll go first of all in the FMC. First check recall, there's no notes, but that was kind of expected. So as you can see, we've not really been halfway through the flight. When you open the departure arrival page, it still refers back to Doha. You have to go past the middle point for the arrival page to sequence to the actual arrival airport. But that's not a problem. We'll go to the index and then choose Dubai LS30 left, DSD, and via Uldot, I think. I'll double check that. So DSD, Gitbo. This time I've got the charts ready. Ulaso, that's correct. Go, Velar, then it's some sort of trombone. 508, 185 knots. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna give myself a little shortcut on the arrival. Let's have a look. No problem at all. As I said, I like to have both. I think they kind of complement each other a little bit. So Velar to what am I doing? So Uldot, it's gonna come below Velar. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So when you set the arrival, it automatically sets the ILS, so there's no need to tune the ILS, which is cool. So that's set. The minima, I think it's 300.
That 1014 using airspace to further CTA available, monitor Unicom 122 decimal for fine.
Continue on Unicom 122 decimal 8, Qatari 1014. Bye bye. Like always, it takes forever to set the minimums. Fortunately, it was only down to 300. Cool, and VRF. So once again, the technique I use is to use the zero fuel weight, 236.8, and then have a look at the arrival fuel. So 7.8, maybe take away a little bit, maybe 300 kilos. So that will be 7.5 plus 236.8 is gonna be 244.3 if I can do the maths. So we'll set at 244.3 and take the VRF 13 147. Then little technique as well, runway 30 left, and we'll put 8 miles, which is the point at which I will drop the gear and start configuring the aircraft. We'll have a quick look at the weather. So the weather, 996 as well on the QNH, 35 degrees, 330 at 8 kilometers. So It's quite similar to Doha. So 996 is set, the Nevrad, I will go for auto brake 3 actually. And that's it. So as you can see, it's much easier to set up than the 737. Generally, it's an easier to operate aircraft. It's much more user friendly, if I can use that phrase. That's possibly why I kind of prefer the 777, to tell the truth.
Following center, retire 737 Heavy, available nation on range 4.
Right, we'll say goodbye to this guy. 1228.
Sorry, 707 bearing control. Good evening. Runway 3 for light, let's take off with 046 degrees.
So it doesn't look too bad time-wise for me. So I might be able to hopefully do the return flight. Hopefully. So I've just updated the active Skynext version 5, I think it is. So we'll see how it works out. At night we can't see the clouds too well, but we'll see how it works out in general. Seems to be fairly stable. That's a very good question. It's kind of the spur of the moment, really. For example, a couple of days ago, I don't know, I was thinking of like kind of Northern Europe and stuff, and I'd seen a program on television about Svalbard, and I thought, oh, that would be nice to go and do a flight up there, you know. So yeah, I flew up to Svalbard. Yesterday I flew up to Boston, which was quite cool. I quite like Boston, so I thought, yeah, it's just kind of whatever comes to my mind. So I tried to find a real world flight, and tried to get the aircraft type as well on that route, and then go ahead and fly it, which is cool. This flight is actually quite interesting when you think of it, because, as I said, it's one of the shortest flights on the 777. I mean, the 777 is obviously meant to be a long-haul aircraft, but it can perfectly be used on a short route like this as well. Like, it's really like up and down, maybe 15-minute cruise, and down you go again. So it can be used for a 15-minute flight, a 50-minute flight, like it can be used for like 17 hours. So it's a very versatile aircraft. I guess most airlines don't have the demand for a large aircraft on short routes like this, but a few airlines, in particular in the Middle East, can fill like these big aircraft on a short route like that. So it's amazing. Not really, because I kind of, although I'm obviously keen on like the simulation and stuff, but I try to do something else than what I'm doing in real life. So no, I don't really fly what I do in real life on the simulator. Otherwise, it's reminding me too much of work. Yeah, it's already top of descent, almost. So that's quite strange. I don't know if you see it on screen, but looking at the sea, I've got these squares. I'd never really noticed that before. I don't know really why it does that. Anyway, we'll see. I'll try in daytime another time to see what's like. So FMC message. Reset MCP altitude. So we'll go to 10,000 feet and let it descend at the top of descent point. But yeah, people must think I'm a little bit nuts because when flying is your job like that, you know, it's I guess it surprises a lot of people that I do also like simulation, and I'm quite keen on it, you know. People probably think I'm not. Yeah, maybe. But it's cool. That's why I was saying I kind of try to do flights that I don't do in real, because I kind of as I was pointing yesterday on that Boston stream in the simulator, you know, it's quite realistic. The places as well, the way the ground and all the places are laid out, it's as I said, it's fairly realistic. So when you go to a place in the simulator and then you go to that same place in real, it's kind of like feels like deja vu, you know. It's like, oh, it's kind of feels familiar, you know, because the simulator is so good in that respect. So kind of like allows you to see places, which obviously you have to use a little bit of your imagination, I guess. But it's there's and the places I've been to in the simulator, and then flew into these places in real, there's definitely like kind of deja vu feeling to it, which is cool, I guess. I guess that's what it's all about, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe I'm talking rubbish, I don't know. Oh, cool, an IT developer, cool. What sort of apps do you build? Is it like apps for like iPhone and stuff like that? Yeah, that's very good. Drag required, we don't really need. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Recall.
Checked.
Can't read checklist item NOTES.
Checked.
Auto brake.
Set. As required.
Now set. Landing data now set. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Seatbelt sign on.
Fasten seatbelt signs on.
Cool. Yeah, I'm kind of looking somehow to retirement, although then it's kind of the end of your working life, and but yeah, I think retiring is a good time as well. No time to enjoy, you know, whatever you want to do. Like, you know, I'm sure you're like, you know, having a lot of free time and doing what you want to do and having like hobbies and stuff. So that's, I think it's quite a cool period. So we can start seeing the coastline, I think. Right, so it's now reducing the speed to 230 knots. Yeah, more time for flight sim, exactly. So I'm gonna let the VNAV do its job. It's supposed to reduce the speed to 230 knots. It still has about 12 miles to Gitbo, where it's supposed to be at 230 knots, so we'll see how it works out. The VNAV on the 777 though is not as good as the VNAV on the 737. For some reason it does, the one good thing it does is that it's keeping the speed in the descent more accurately than the 737. The 737 on the VNAV path descent sometimes tends to accelerate and even will take you into the overspeed, into the barber pole, or you know, the red dots at the top of the speed tape there. So that's something the 777 doesn't do. It keeps the speed all the way down fairly stable. But the way it calculates the, for example, the deceleration segments, when you have like got a waypoint with a speed constraint, sometimes it doesn't do a very good job. So you always kind of need to be fairly suspicious of it. So here it's doing a decent enough job. It's coming back towards 230 knots. And we're gonna cross Gitbo 11,000 or below, which is good. Alright, we'll go, I'd say 8,000 feet. So always try to match the track with the actual track of the aircraft. So now the auto throttle is in speed mode. It's set to add a bit of thrust to kind of keep the descent path going. if it was going to idle, it would drop too much speed, because the rate of descent is fairly shallow now, so it needs to add a bit of thrust to keep the speed going. So it's fairly important to be aware of the FMA, the flight mode annunciator modes up here, to know what the autopilot, what the automatics are doing. Yeah, we're starting to see the coastline there with the city. I think that dark spot is possibly the airport, actually, because that's the river there, I think. Cool. $10,000 descending flow.
Okay. Ready for the checklist.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
Set.
Confirm.
Set.
Confirm.
Set.
Confirm.
Disregard the item.
Yep, I'll jump to the next item. Approach checklist complete.
I don't know why they didn't recognize. I don't know. I'll need to double check what the response is supposed to be. It's multi-crew experience. At the moment, I get it to work fairly well. I don't want to be too optimistic about it, but it seems to be working fairly well. So sometimes it can be a little bit whimsical and do funny things, but the last few flights I've used it, it's done a decent enough job. So I'm quite happy with it. It's quite good. I know it's not the most popular kind of copilot add-on, but what I like about it is that you can customize the flows and the checklist. The other add-on that is around in the flight simulation world, if you want, is I think is a little bit more set in and specific, like SOPs and things, you know. It's and you cannot really edit the flows on the checklist on the the SOPs themselves. It's fairly rigid that way. So, but I have to admit it seems to be working better though. But there's no possibility to edit stuff. So that's why, like, when I had to choose a while back, I liked it multi-crew experience. Yeah, so the dark spot there was the airport. Now we can start seeing the terminal lights coming this way. I think this is not Dubai. I think that's Sharjah. Dubai, I think, is here, is on that side. So even at night, the scenery looks quite good. So obviously it's a little bit darker for the stream and then for the videos, but the scenery at night is quite good actually. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, that's exactly Bill about FS2 crew, if we have to quote the name. It's you cannot customize, the checklists or the flows and stuff. So it does. I have to admit, it does seem to work much better than multi-crew experience, and the way it seems to be more better maybe on the recognition of commands, and also the voices as well are better. But yeah, I like to do things my own way a little bit, so. So we've got a speed restriction at Ulasso 210 or 210 max. So flap 1, and it's reducing the speed to 10 knots. Okay, I was not aware of sim voice. I'll have a look, see what it's like. Yep, so that's the airport. Wow, that's quite cool. The scenery is quite cool. I like that Flight Tampa scenery. I think is really good. They've done a really good job, and it's very friendly on the frame rate. If you think about the level of detail, you would think that will be really bad on the frames, but if you've got a decent enough computer, then the frames are not affected at all. I mean, it remains very smooth, so that's to their credit, I guess. This time we're getting cabin ready in the descent. And there's no way, like on departure, either I missed it or otherwise it never happened. But there's no way to kind of say, hey, is the cabin ready? You know, in real you would call, you know, the cabin and say, are you guys ready? Or, but I mean, in the simulator, there's no way to kind of expedite the cabin ready thing. So I don't even know if it was or not. Not that it matters. I mean, it's just to keep I guess the realism going, but it's not that vital. Thrust, flyable change speed. We'll go a little bit below the profile to decelerate. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5 selected.
Yeah, the arrival is supposed to continue a little bit further down and then come back. It's a bit like those German approaches, and with the trombones, I think, as they call it. But all these trombone approaches, I think there's some I remember in Budapest there was trombone, and a lot of places actually. But you don't really fly the whole trombone. It's just in case there's a lot of traffic. They would kind of channel the flow of traffic that way, but otherwise if the traffic situation is not too dense, then you would kind of bypass that trombone thing. So the ILS is idented, India Delta Bravo Whiskey, which is good. Flaps 15.
Flaps 15 selected. Flaps verified. Got no idea about the active runway.
Yeah, he's not supposed to ask for that. You know, I've made it. I've made the multi-crew experience kind of a little bit dumb, and he's not supposed to ask for the airport and be overly challenging or annoying or everything. But
2500.
that's one of the things about multi-crew experience, that sometimes is a little bit unpredictable, and it comes up with things which you don't really expect. Oh, perfect. I hope you won't be disappointed by the landing. No pressure. So the correct sensing is there. Localizer capture. So the good thing is that it automatically syncs when the localizer is captured. The track or the heading is automatically synced to the runway track. So in this case 300, which is good. Whereas on the 737 you have to match and set it yourself. But on the 777 it's done automatically. However, for the missed approach altitude, you've got to set it yourself. Once you've got the glide slope captured, you've got to set the missed approach yourself. Jaxis is back. Cool. Alt. So with the shortcut, it's still a 13-mile final. So I hope you find the YouTube channel useful as well. Obviously, the streams is like the whole flight, and it's obviously when it's busy, it's more interactive, and you can kind of answer questions and kind of talk about things on the go as they come along. The videos are a little bit more thought of and a bit more structured and kind of focus on one topic, or so I hope it's useful somehow. Gear down.
Gear speed check. Moving down.
Flaps 20.
Flaps going up.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 20 selected. Gear down and locked. Flaps verified. I bet you already know the runway in use.
Yes, I do, but I'm not gonna tell you. Flaps 30.
Flaps going up.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30 selected.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Speed brake armed. Landing gear down. Flaps.
Set.
Landing checklist complete.
Cool. So one thing you should do is actually when the checklist is complete, if you press checklist, then it shouldn't come back to the status page. For some reason, it always comes back to the status page. The lower display here should be blank all the time. Well, I was
confirm IRS.
No, don't touch the RS, mate. You're gonna make a mess if you touch the RS. Flight director.
30 left.
So we don't disconnect the auto throttle on the 777. Sorry. Because flying without the auto throttle, as one of my instructors said once, is dangerous. Go and figure that one out, but I think it's mainly due to the fly-by-wire system thing. Fly-by-wire is kind of, the auto throttle is kind of keeping track of the speed and what you're doing.
$100. 50, 30, 20, 10.
Cool. So we'll go to, where are we going to go? Bravo. Option 6. Bravo 25. Nope. Cool, so here we are. Let's have a look at the scenery at night once again. Clean up. After landing flow.
Okay, Captain. After landing flow complete.
Cool. So you might see on the stream maybe a few stutters with the scenery, but I think it's more because of the streaming as well. Obviously, the streaming is adding a lot of stress to the computer, so it's much more work for the computer to do on top of the simulator to send all the data for the stream. So, but as I was saying earlier on, otherwise it's usually very smooth if it's only the simulator, the frame rate even with such a high level of detail, is very, very good. So we're going to Bravo 25, which I think is around the corner there, looking at the chart. So yeah, it's a very nice scenery. The control tower there, and on this side as well. The night textures are actually really nice. It's really, really good. Cool. Go back to the flight deck. Start the APU. Oh,
APU.
it's already started. I forgot it was part of the flow.
Selected on.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Oh, somebody's taking off there. Up there, where's it? Where is it? FDB, oh, that's Fly Dubai. Cool. So, Bravo 25. Oh yeah, there's the steps there, so the ground crew is waiting. Taxi in flow.
Okay. Cabin crew, prepare all doors and cross-check.
Yeah, they do great airports. I think it's they do really nice scenery. I really like this one. I mean, like scenery-wise, I mean you can't get all the sceneries in the world, obviously. But yeah, this one is cool. So it's clear on the left, clear on the right. If I can also suggest ground services XG and GSX, I like it. I mean, it's some people might think it's a little bit fidgety and a little bit too much, but I like it. I really like it. Like, you know, having the marshaller there, having the ground services, it just adds to the kind of realism there. But so let's see if he's gonna do a Macarena for us or not. I've been after a Macarena for a long time. Why is the aircraft stopping? It's got thrust. It shouldn't stop. Ah, just a bit short. Okay. He says to shut down the engines. So APU is running. And the engines can come off. Doors are already manual. Very good parking, thank you, sir. Ah, no, it's disappeared. No Macarena. Cool. Shut down flow.
Okay. 4 shut down. flow complete, ready for the checklist.
Shut down checklist.
Shut down checklist. Hydraulic panel.
Set.
Fuel pumps off. Flaps up. Parking brake.
Set.
Fuel control switches cut off. Weather radar off. Shut down checklist complete.
No, I'm still on Jax's on. Well, hopefully I'm still on. You still can you still see me on? It kind of shows me. Hold on, I'll refresh the Twitch page. No, it still shows me as being on. Oh, okay, cool. So here we are. So what I'm gonna do, it's a 1 hour flight to go back to Doha. I think I'm gonna do it, to tell the truth. So turn around on the 777 it's not gonna take too long. So I don't really know how I'm gonna do it with the connections and stuff. I'm probably gonna disconnect 2 seconds from Twitch, redo the online connection, and I'll be back within maybe 20 seconds or something. So I'll see you in 20 seconds. Stay tuned.